I used to think losing 10 kilos meant endless hours at the gym and a life of constant hunger. I was so wrong. This is how I stumbled upon a simple, realistic at-home routine that completely changed my body. No extremes required. For years, I was stuck in the same old cycle. A burst of motivation would hit, I'd buy another gym membership, and I'd stock my fridge with sad-looking salads. I'd tell myself, this is it, this time it's for real. But it never was, right? Motivation fades, life gets in the way, and the weight creeps back on, usually with a few extra pounds as friends. I felt like a total failure, convinced that being healthy was some complicated puzzle I just couldn't solve. I figured it was reserved for people with more time, more money, and way more willpower than I had. If any of that sounds familiar, you need to listen closely, because what I'm about to share is the honest truth I wish someone had told me years ago. Section 1. The breaking point. My breaking point wasn't some big, dramatic moment. It was more like a slow burn of 1,000 little frustrations. It was seeing a photo of myself and not even recognizing the tired person staring back. It was getting winded after walking up a single flight of stairs. It was that closet full of clothes I kept just in case they fit again someday. The gym just became a source of guilt, a monthly bill for a place I barely went to. And diets? Don't even get me started. They were worse. I tried them all. Low carb, low fat, juice cleanses, meal replacements, you name it. Every single one felt like a punishment. I was always hungry, cranky, and just obsessed with food. I'd lose a few kilos through sheer misery, only to gain it all back the second I tried to eat like a normal person again. Have you ever felt like that? Like you're putting in all this work and making all these sacrifices for absolutely nothing? I was so frustrated and on the verge of giving up. I started to think that maybe this was just my body, and that the dream of feeling light, energetic, and confident was just that, a dream. It felt bleak and hopeless, and I was convinced I had tried every possible solution, only to have every single one fail me. The problem wasn't just the weight, it was feeling completely powerless in my own body. Section 2. The discovery. It was right there, at my lowest point, when I'd pretty much resigned myself to feeling uncomfortable in my own skin forever, that something shifted. It wasn't a miracle cure or some secret potion. It started with a simple question that popped into my head while I was scrolling through yet another complex workout plan. What if it doesn't have to be this hard? What if, instead of trying to blow up my entire life overnight, I just made one small positive change? Not a diet, but a simple lifestyle tweak. That one question sent me down a completely new path. I stopped searching for quick fixes and started researching sustainable long-term health. I dug into the science of habit formation, mindful eating, and how consistency is so much more powerful than intensity. Slowly, a new philosophy started to take shape, one built on self-compassion, not self-punishment. The core idea was incredibly simple: stop fighting your body and start working with it. Forget the whole no pain, no gain thing. Forget starvation. The real answer was to build a series of small, manageable habits that add up over time, creating a lifestyle that naturally leads to a healthier you. It was about shifting my mindset from restriction to nourishment. This discovery felt like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders, way before I lost a single kilo. For the first time, weight loss didn't feel like a war I had to wage against myself. It felt like a journey I could actually enjoy. Section 3. The 3 Golden Rules. This new way of thinking really came down to 3 simple but powerful golden rules. These are the foundation of how I lost 10 kilograms without a gym membership or a crazy diet. Golden rule number 1. Move with purpose, not punishment. First, I had to completely change how I thought about exercise. I canceled my gym membership and all the guilt that came with it. Instead, I focused on one thing: moving my body for at least 30-45 minutes every single day. This wasn't about punishing high-intensity workouts, it was about actually finding joy in movement. For me, that meant brisk walks in the morning while listening to a podcast. It meant putting on some music and just dancing around my living room for 15 minutes. And yes, it included some simple at-home workouts. But these weren't the hour-long ordeals I used to force myself through. I focused on basic, effective bodyweight exercises you can do anywhere. Squats, push-ups, on my knees at first, and that's okay. Lunges, and planks. I'd create a simple circuit: 15 squats, 10 push-ups, hold a plank for 30 seconds, rest for a minute, and repeat it 3 or 4 times. That's it. It took maybe 20 minutes. The key wasn't to exhaust myself, it was to be consistent. Regular, moderate activity is amazing for burning calories, and, just as importantly, for building muscle. Keeping your muscle is crucial when you're losing weight, because it keeps your metabolism running strong. This approach made exercise feel like just another part of my day, like brushing my teeth, not some huge task I had to talk myself into. Golden rule number 2, eat smart, don't starve. This is the no diet part, and honestly, it's the most important rule of all. I stopped labeling foods as good or bad. I quit counting every single calorie. Instead, I started practicing mindful eating. It's all about paying full attention to your food and what your body is telling you. Before, I'd eat while watching TV or scrolling on my phone, barely noticing what I was putting in my mouth. Now I make it a point to sit down at a table with no distractions and actually savor my meals. I learned to chew slowly and listen, really listen, to my body's hunger and fullness signals. It sounds almost too simple to work, but it was a game changer. I started realizing how often I was eating out of boredom or habit, not real hunger. Instead of drastic cuts, I made small, smart swaps. I traded sugary sodas for sparkling water with a slice of lemon. I made sure every meal was balanced, focusing on 3 things: lean protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Protein from things like chicken, eggs, or beans, and fiber from veggies and whole grains keep you feeling full and satisfied for much longer, which naturally cuts down on cravings. I'd aim to fill half my plate with vegetables, a quarter with lean protein, and a quarter with whole grain carbs. This wasn't a diet, it was just a smarter way to build a plate. I never felt deprived because no food was off limits. If I wanted a piece of chocolate, I had it. But because I was eating mindfully, I found that one piece was usually enough to satisfy the craving instead of the whole bar. Golden rule number 3, master your environment. The final piece of the puzzle was realizing that weight loss isn't just about food and exercise. It's about your whole lifestyle. 2 of the most overlooked factors are sleep and stress. Not getting enough sleep messes with the hormones that control your appetite, making you crave sugary, high-calorie junk. I made getting 7 and 8 hours of quality sleep a non-negotiable rule. That meant creating a relaxing bedtime routine and shutting off screens an hour before bed. It's the same with stress. Chronic stress makes your body produce cortisol, a hormone that can lead to weight gain, especially around the belly. To manage my stress, I stuck with my daily walks, which were as much for my head as for my body. I also made sure I was properly hydrated, aiming for 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Sometimes our bodies mistake thirst for hunger, so just staying hydrated can stop you from snacking when you don't need to. By getting my sleep, stress, and hydration in check, I created an internal environment that supported weight loss, making the whole process feel less like a battle and more like, well, just living. If these rules are starting to click for you, and you're feeling a little spark of hope, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button to let me know. Section 4. The transformation and the reality. Following these 3 rules, the change didn't happen overnight. And that's the beauty of it. The weight came off slowly and steadily, about half a kilo to a kilo per week, which is a healthy and sustainable pace. It took several months to lose the 10 kilograms, and that gradual approach gave my body and mind time to adapt. There was no yo-yo effect where the weight piled back on, because I hadn't made any crazy changes I couldn't stick with. But the transformation was about so much more than a number on a scale. My energy levels skyrocketed. I was sleeping better than I had in years. My clothes started to fit comfortably again, and not just the someday pile. The biggest change, though, was internal. The constant anxiety around food vanished. The guilt I used to attach to exercise was gone. I felt in control of my body and my health, maybe for the first time in my adult life. This process taught me that my body was never the enemy. The real enemy was the bad information and the quick fix culture that tells us we have to suffer to see results. The truth is, lasting change comes from consistency and self-care, not extremism and self-punishment. The journey to losing 10 kilos ended up being a journey back to myself. Conclusion. So that's it. That's the big secret. It really just comes down to those 3 golden rules. 1. Move with purpose, not punishment. Find movement you actually enjoy and do it consistently. 2. Eat smart, don't starve. Pay attention to your body and build balanced, satisfying meals. 3. Master your environment. Prioritize sleep, manage stress, and drink your water. It's not glamorous, and it won't sell a million miracle pills, but it's real and it works. I wasted years thinking I was the problem, when really, the methods I was trying were designed to fail. They were just unsustainable. If you feel trapped in that same cycle, I want you to know there is another way. You don't need a gym. You don't need a miserable diet. You just need to be consistent, be patient with yourself, and believe that small daily actions can lead to extraordinary results. I did it, and I am absolutely certain that you can too. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more realistic tips on health and wellness. And now I want to hear from you. What is the one small change you could make this week, starting today? Let me know in the comments below. Sharing your goal is a powerful first step. Remember, you've got this.